If you want to be successful, you got to be willing to break down barriers, cut out the middleman, and charge forward on your road to success. What's going on, guys? It's Uzziah, your success consultant, and in today's video, I really want to remind you of how little time you have on this earth. There's a famous quote that I always think about when it comes to motivating me to operate right now to get things done. The way that the quote goes is this: the best time to have planted a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now. So when it comes to your success, here's what I want you to think about. When it comes to what you really want to accomplish in life, like your dream, your goal, your aspiration, the best time for you to have done that was probably 10 years ago. It was probably in your younger years when you was just pissing away time. I know I wasn't the only one that was doing that. Every single day, I wake up and I just kick myself in the foot, thinking about how much precious time I wasted at a younger age and how that started to catch up with me years down the line. And so I want you to remember this and share it with a friend, because this is so important for you to be able to catch up. If you want to be able to make up for all of the lost time that you should have been grinding away and you're wondering, can I still make it? You need to know how to be able to break down the barriers. You must understand that if you're going to get ahead in life after already being behind, regardless of how much time you've wasted, how many opportunities you've missed, maybe you come from a disadvantaged point of view, a disenfranchised community. Regardless of whatever your reason is, you got to be able to know how to be able to speed yourself along the way. So that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. And I got these 3 fingers up because I'm going to give you 3 points, as always, as a hallmark of this channel. So first and foremost, I really want you to be able to understand that in order for you to be able to cut out the middleman, you've got to look for the quickest path from point A to point B. You've got to be able to know how to get there fast. I'm going to give you a prime example of that. You know, when I first started thinking about making this channel, I wanted to be able to have, all this grand staging, white screen, green screen, high quality video editing, all of these different things. And to some extent, I still want to be able to do those videos just to be able to have some variety. But then I realized, if I really want to be able to produce content, and I want to be the type of person that's about substance over style, why don't I just turn the damn webcam on and get to work? Why don't I just take my microphone, take my webcam, take me, and put my message out in the world? And there's so many people that could have access to the same opportunity, but you never do it because you expect a million other things to look perfect before you take your first step forward. It's too much perfectionist theory. You're adding too much fluff to the equation. Sometimes, if you want to be able to really get yourself to a certain place, you got to think about what is the quickest path from point A to point B. So, if you're thinking about starting a business, what's the quickest path for you to get from point A to point B? Is it going to college? Is it spending the next 20 years just learning with no action and no results? Or is it starting today and picking up on things as you go along? See, you finding the quickest path is always good because it always leads to action. So you got to really, really focus on creating that straight line. Anybody that's knowing math or math majors, whoever you are, you always will know that the quickest way from point A to point B is a straight line. And that's the mentality that you should have when it comes to getting anything done. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. Don't rely on a billion people. Sometimes, in order for something to get done, you got to be the one to do it. If you want to get something done, you got to do it yourself. So that's the first way that I want you to focus on, really learning how to be able to break down barriers and cut down the middleman. The second thing that I want you to do is always brainstorm better ways of doing things and alternate routes, because there's too many people that are diseased with brick wall syndrome. Imagine being on a highway and at some point the highway closes. If the highway is closed, does that mean that you cannot get to your destination? Or does that mean that you have to find an alternate route in order to get there? If you're driving on the street and one street is blocked off, guess what they have for you to find another way? It's called a detour. When it comes to you being able to achieve success, you're going to need to be able to find the detours. Because I guarantee you this, as you travel on the road to success, every road will not be open to you. Every highway will not be open. You will not be able to operate in the fast lane of life. You're not always going to be able to just, hop in your lane and then just punch it all the way through. It's not going to work like that. You're going to need to find alternate roads. You're going to need to sometimes make a road if there is no road there. But there's so many people, when it comes to their personal success, and it comes to their goals, their dreams, their aspirations, if they can't go down one set road, immediately they just stop driving and they don't go anywhere else. They're totally paralyzed. They're totally stuck. What I want you to do is, when you inevitably hit a brick wall, because brick walls are coming, failures are inevitable on the road to success. Think about Thomas Edison. He said that he did not fail. He just figured out 10,000 ways where something wouldn't work. You got to have that type of mentality. So maybe there's only one road that you can go down, but you got to go through 10 other failed brick walls to be able to get to that one road. But you got to be able to constantly navigate around, reroute yourself, detour yourself. You got to be willing to go through the maze of life. So when you have a goal, if you're trying to maybe get a better job, if you don't get one job, okay, how will you apply to another? What's going to be your alternate? If one position isn't the right fit for you, how will you be able to find a better position that's more suited for you? It's not the end of the world because you lost your job. It's not the end of the world because you don't like your boss. It's not the end of the world because you got fired. It's just time to look for alternates. So behind anything that you do in life, be the person that always finds another way. When you step in front of the brick wall of life, because brick walls will always be in front of you. Rejections will always be in front of you. No's will always be in front of you. Resistance will always be in front of you. When that brick wall comes, find a way to get past it. Find a way to get around it. Find a way to get over it. Find a way to get through it. And if you're not creative enough to be able to figure that out, if you're not dedicated enough to be willing to figure that out, you're always going to be outbeaten by the person who will. You're always going to be outbeaten by the person that has a sledgehammer and just takes a sledgehammer to the wall. You're always going to be outbeaten by the person who's just willing to jump and leap over the wall. You're going to be outbeaten by the person that's going to be able to find a ladder or find a person to give them a boost over the wall. You're going to find yourself always losing to the person that is able to adapt better in the marketplace. All right. So that's the second one. Third one, you got to be willing to choose yourself in order to cut out the middleman. Listen to this. This is so very important. There's so many people who are just paralyzed by validation and emotional needs, and they don't even know it. Anytime that you need to accomplish something in your life, you need the next person to hire you. You need the next person to vote for you. You need the next person to be able to get you in. But what would be different? How would your life change if you went at life and approached it from a way that you voted for yourself? What if instead of just complaining about, oh, this job didn't work or that job didn't work, why not just make your own job? What about instead of, being so mad about, well, this is going on in the economy and that's going on in the economy, that you make the decision to invest yourself so much in being able to develop an income stream that in many ways it's economy proof. In many ways, it's recession proof. Have other people in history, and I'm not even talking about 30, 40, 50 years ago, I'm talking about within the past 10 years. Have there been people that have run successful businesses who made more money during the recession than any other time in their life? Absolutely. So instead of simply waiting for the economy to vote you in, waiting for this person to give you a pat on the back, waiting for another person to validate your idea or pick you to be on the winning team, sometimes you got to be the person to set up the team and pick the right players. You have to have the self-confidence to be able to choose yourself. And I hope that this message is resonating with you, because for some of you, the real reason why you're not successful is not because you're not smart enough. It's not because of the fact that you don't work hard enough. It's because of the fact that you've been looking for somebody else to validate your success, when all along the solution was to validate your own success and move forward. When you want to be able to build something in a professional capacity, people are not always going to be in favor of you. You read about Steve Jobs. You think everybody was in favor of him when he thought about the idea of the iPhone? Think about James Cameron when he created the movie called Avatar. No one was willing to fund the movie Avatar. He had to save up his own money to be able to have that movie come to life. And he had to recognize that the only way that Avatar was going to be in theaters is if he picked himself and he loved himself enough to move his dream forward. If you love yourself enough to move your dream forward, anything is possible. So the question is, will you choose yourself to be able to move forward in your life? Or are you always going to wait for a next person to be able to give you the thumbs up? Are you always going to wait for the next person to say, yeah, good job? Are you always going to wait for the next person to pat you on the back? Ain't nobody coming to pat you on the back, man. If you want to be successful, you got to be a self-starter. And that's a characteristic that is only indicative of the top 5% of people in the world. So if you want to make greatness your measure, make sure you subscribe to this channel, because every single day I'm putting out videos just like this in order for you to win. I care about you enough that I want to see you win with no excuses, man. There's a million other things that I could be doing, but I have a vision and I have a passion that you're going to watch this video and it's going to resonate with you in such a way where you're going to get off your behind, you're going to stop making excuses, and you're going to go out and make things happen. So, if you are serious about your success, I want you to leave me a comment and let me know I'm ready to cut out the middleman. That's all I need to hear. I'm ready to cut out the middleman, because if you are going to accomplish anything great, you're going to learn how to do that. All right? Take care. See you soon. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video.